Hi guys, this is Allison. So today I'm going to be doing my reaction to the 100-3-12. So this episode was called Demons and it was very entertaining. Okay, so let me pull up my notes and we're going to get started. One thing that I'm really glad is that these past two episodes have really gotten back to the heart of the show. I really feel like the heart of the show is the delinquents working together to solve a problem. I feel like that's why I love season 1 so much, because it was just such a awesome season, because it always showed them, no matter what obstacles they faced, the delinquents, the gang coming together to solve a problem. Whether that was the Grounders, whether that was, getting a food source, Murphy, all the various problems they faced. I just really am glad that the 100 season 3 is getting back to the heart of the show, which is the delinquents. So basically, okay, so I'm going to start off with, I loved how they went back to Arcadia and to try to get Lincoln's book to find Luna, because I feel like Luna is the key to destroying Allie. So yeah, I really liked that. I liked just I really liked this episode because one, it was suspenseful, just because how nobody was there and they're all working together. It's very eerie, people, it looks like, just like Clark said, it looked like they just got up and left, which is basically what happened. Yeah, I'm going to go in order of what happened, what I remembered. I'm really glad Octavia had some closure this episode. Man, Lincoln's death still is really hard to gather and to really understand. It's really hard because Lincoln was one of my top 3 favorite characters, and I loved Lincoln and Octavia. I loved their ship. I loved their relationship. I loved how they evolved together. And so it's just, I'm just glad he got that. I'm just glad Octavia got some closure. I thought it was really sad how she went back to their old room and smelled Lincoln's jacket just to smell him one, just to get his scent one more time, just to look at the book that he had drawn in and to see the picture of her earmarked was just like, the feels were so much. And I also thought it was a really cool parallel how in the earlier episodes, I think 302, Octavia's comforting Jasper and Matt Weather about Maya, and then Octavia's breaking down and Jasper says, it does get better. And I thought it was really sweet how Jasper tried to reach out to Octavia. And yes, Octavia, she's trying to compartmentalize with how the Grounders taught her to not mourn anybody until the war is won. But I did think it was a really cool parallel how they both helped each other. I'm glad they were able to get Lincoln's book. Okay, so the big suspense for this episode was basically Emerson was back in Arcadia. It was so creepy how he left his son's carousel playing, and he was trying to basically kidnap Miller, Brian, Raven, Monty, Jasper, all of their friends, Octavia, all of their friends, to try to get to Clark, bring Clark out into the open and get revenge for basically Matt Weather. And so, thinking back to when Clark had the choice whether or not to kill Emerson, I feel like, for me, I wouldn't be able to just kill somebody, but I can also see why it would benefit to kill someone in that situation, because you don't want them coming back, getting revenge. So yeah, it was just crazy. Okay, so the whole, just Emerson, them, him picking off one person by one person, how he got Jasper, he got Miller, Brian and Jasper and Octavia, and he had them captive, and Raven, and she's trying to fight back so hard, Raven is, but she's hurt and injured, and she can only do the best that she can. So yeah, I really loved that scene between Bellamy and Clark when they go into the hangar bay or into some sort of room, and Clark says, hey, give this to Raven, I'm gonna go turn myself in just to end this, and Bellamy's like, are you done yet? I just love the little sass moment. Bellamy's like, I'm not gonna let you do this alone, which I feel like is just so heartwarming, and so it's so satisfying because they are a team. They work together best when they are together and not apart. And he cares about Clark, and he's gonna go down swinging with Clark. Whether it risks his life or not, he's not gonna leave Clark to fight this battle alone. I thought that was really sweet. And I also love just them working together, having got the gun and searching the area. I was like, yay! So many awesome, cop stories that I have in my head right now with the two of them. I thought whenever they go to meet Emerson and, Bellamy stays back and then Clark is like, I'm here. And then Emerson says, come on out, Bellamy. It just again proves that someone outside of the friendship sees their camaraderie, sees their teamwork, sees their leadership together. And I just thought it was just a really cool moment just to see that. Just another character validifying the awesome chemistry and camaraderie that they have. You're not going to see one without the other. I thought that was really exciting and entertaining. I loved the fight between Clark and Emerson. Like, props to Marshall Virtue and the whole stunt team. It was awesome. Like, I have never been so scared for Clark's life. Like, I literally thought, like, Clark's gonna die. Because I just didn't see a way out of that fight. Emerson basically has her in a chokehold. And, watching her friend suffocate to death was just like, oh, man, the stakes are just so high. And Clark is just so resourceful, so level-headed and calm. I mean, as much as she can be, with Emerson torturing her, basically. She realizes that she can use the second AI to put it inside Emerson's head and neck, so Emerson will die and she'll be able to save her friends. Felt like that was really smart of Clark, and I don't think I'd be that calm. I would be an emotional wreck, you guys. Like, a mess. I love their fight. I also thought it was really smart how, Emerson got Bellamy inside the hangar, because I was like, Bellamy's not just going to go in. Like, he's going to, Clark's going to go in and he'll sacrifice himself. But the way, like, Emerson used Octavia as, like, a motivation was just like, wow. Like, because, especially right now, the Blake siblings have gone through a lot. There's a lot of trust issues, which there should be. There's not a lot of hope and kindness right now among the Blake siblings, which is perfectly understandable with what's happened. But I thought it was just really sweet how, Bellamy was like, okay, I'll come. Like, please stop. Stop hurting her. Stop hurting my sister. It kind of just goes back to the concept of once a Blake, always a Blake. Even as they're suffocating, Octavia kind of grunts out like Bellamy, and then Bellamy just says, oh, or I don't know, he kind of mouths that. Just how their potential last words are each other's names. I thought that was just really a sweet moment of sibling camaraderie, even though the rivalry is really intense right now and there's lots of hurt feelings. I feel like it was just a great moment just to witness how, yes, there's a lot of drama, and yes, there's a lot of hurt right now between the siblings, but they come together at the end of the day. I am hoping for reconciliation. I'm not saying it has to happen, like, immediately, because that's not realistic, because reconciliation takes a long time. It just does. And so I'm hoping in the near future they'll be able to reconcile and become closer like they were before. I also am just really excited just to see how they interact together and how they feed off one another's energy. I'm just excited to see that. Okay, so basically, okay, so Sinclair's death. Man, that was so crushing. Like, why? Why? You guys, like, that was awful. And Sinclair, was trying so hard just to save Raven and open up the hatch so they could fight off Emerson better in the dark. That was an awesome black light scene. It was just awesome just to see the visuals and how it wasn't cloudy. It was real and raw and realistic and really tense and terrifying. And how, Sinclair is, like, stabbed, bleeding out, and he just keeps whispering, stay in the rover, stay in the rover, stay in the rover. Like, his last dying wish is to protect Raven. And I know they weren't father and daughter, but to me they are, because they just share such an awesome bond. Like, Sinclair has stood up for Raven since day one. Like, he went to bat for her for Zeta G Mechanic. He didn't care about a heart murmur or about how her legs messed up. He just kept on fighting, kept on supporting her and loving her unconditionally. I just love their friendship. How Raven tried to save, Raven risked her own life just to save her friend Sinclair, and how, she was like, stay with me, and, she kind of leaned into his hand, which is like really, it was just heartbreaking, but it just shows their bond of just love and understanding. And I'm sad to see Sinclair go. I really like Sinclair. I really do. I'm trying to think who's left of the original adults, and I can't really think of a lot of people besides Kane and Abby and Jaha. But he's crazy, so I don't really care about Jaha right now. Okay, so basically switching to the whole Polis City storyline. Poor Murphy just needs to get out of Polis somehow. And then Jaha showing up, oh my gosh. Like, that was really smart, though, to chip the commander so she could chip everyone in Polis to fill up the City of Light. It was smart and cunning. I still hate Jaha, and I'm really angry that Antari, you know, took him. But it doesn't surprise me because she wants power and she wants it now. I'm interested to see where the AI storyline goes. Also, again, you know, I'm just excited about that. And I'm so happy Amori was back, and then she's chipped. Like, gosh dang it. I really like Amori and Murphy. I feel like they work well together. They're both rough around the edges and not accepted by their people, and they work well together. So I'm sad that she's chipped. That just really stunk. I hope they're able to get unchipped and somehow Emery doesn't die, because Murphy needs someone who's going to support him and be his #1 cheerleader. Yeah, so basically the very end scene with getting closure again for Lincoln and Sinclair, it was a really emotional moment just because, you know, I see Bellamy carrying a body and I was like, well, maybe that's Sinclair's body, but it was Lincoln's body. I was not prepared for the emotions, you guys. I wasn't. Like, I thought it was over Lincoln's death and I was like, nope. It's all flooding back to me. All the feels with Lincoln and Linktavia. I mean, I'm just glad Octavia got that closure. She got to kiss Lincoln one more time and she saw him murdered from a hilltop. Like, it was rough. And I feel like it was an honest portrayal of grief. Like, when you lose a loved one, you are devastated. Like, it doesn't matter how much you try to compartmentalize, try to get rid of that feeling, you're devastated. And yes, it was a very raw and emotional moment for Octavia, and you could just see kind of Bellamy trying to comfort her, but, you know, taking a step back because, you know, he feels responsible for Lincoln's death. Partially he is. You know, he gave Pike the guns, he listened to Pike, you know, all these things. And yes, I know Lincoln chose to sacrifice himself for his people, but it just stinks that that's what happened, and it's just a messy situation. So I'm glad, you know, Lincoln and Sinclair got closure, and how Raven went up to Sinclair and was like, may we meet again, my friend. Like, oh, their friendship, man. I'll never get it. It'll forever live on. So this episode was great, suspenseful, thrilling. I'm so excited for next episode, you guys, because we have them trying to find Luna, we have the Ballark hug. I've been waiting so long, you guys, basically a year. It's gonna be great. Like, oh man, I'm not prepared. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful night, guys. Bye!